Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. This time around we will be playing on Primal WoW again, continuing our journey with our troll hunter, and this will be the first pre-recording that will hit the channel, I think, so I will say it one last time and one more time here. I talked about it quite a bit in the last few live streams, but in case you're not aware, I will be gone over the holidays until the 27th/28th, I'm not too sure yet. And there will be a lot of pre-recordings, so I hope that's okay for you. They won't be that long, just a bit of questing on different servers. I think we will try to, well, reach a point where we can show some endgame footage, some raids, maybe some dungeons, so that you don't really have to watch me leveling over and over again. And yeah, so start is Primal WoW. As you can see, I leveled a bit. We are level 19 right now, and this will be one of the few characters that I also will level while I'm not on stream, just because it's so convenient and so easy to do, and I guess it does not hold too much entertainment value. It's just something nice to like have running in the background while we talk about a few things, and that's why I also figured this would be quite okay for like the first video in this pre-recording series, since I could address a few of the things that are going to happen in the next days. And again, there will be like a lot of videos where I actually like talk about different stuff, and I think there will be like 5 to 6 videos in the next days that are pre-recordings. It will mostly be, yeah, stuff like this, with one exception, maybe 2, not too sure yet, and like a special episode. But yeah, today is the 23rd, so one day before Christmas, and I hope you all have a fantastic time. This is one of those quest lines where you have to be a bit careful in the upper ranks, like around that area. It's very easy to pull like 4 or 5 mobs at once, so keep that in mind and maybe try to go there with some, like, fully restored basically. I will try to get to level 20 in this recording. Let's see if that's possible. I will try to like leave them around 30 minutes. I figure that a lot of you probably don't have that much time around the holiday season, and well, maybe you are doing something right now, like playing yourself or doing some chores, stuff like that, and you need something to run in the background, and I guess that's the kind of stuff this is good for. Okay, I think it's better to upgrade our pet a bit, and yeah, let's really go full HP, maybe even with some buff food. Should be a bit better. Like, one of the enemies up there that we actually need to kill is quite high level. Over there, I think, yeah, Captain Fairmount. So yeah, don't take this lightly. The difference between the levels is quite high, so this is like a quest for level 20, although all the other mobs are around level 15 to 17, which is a bit weird. But, well, the captains you need to actually slay for the quests are all level 20, so that's the reason for that. So I would recommend to go here maybe at level 18 to 19, 20. If you are a hunter, I think it's okay to do this at level 16 maybe even, but like every other class, the thing is, if you go low level, then it's very easy to pull even more enemies, and that's of course pretty dangerous. So keep that in mind. As you can see, she also likes to fear you, or like respectively your mount if you have one. Not mount, your pet. So yeah, not as easy. But we are already done here. You could argue that it's better to join this tower last, since there's like an escort quest which leads all the way to Ratchet, and well, you have to go here again anyway. We are going to do this as well. So there's some arguments to be made to just do this tower last, because now we basically have to basically double clear the bottom of the tower. But yeah, I guess there are worse things. So leveling is still nice and easy. It's probably the thing why I like the hunters so much. Sometimes it can get a bit boring because of that. Like, it's just too convenient, too easy. But then other times, like if you are, like I recently leveled off screen like a bit on a rogue, which is also not the worst class to level. It's still quite okay. But yeah, if you come from a rogue from vanilla to like a hunter in Wrath of the Lich King, it's like day and night. It's really so easy, and that also makes it fun. But I think just doing this would be a bit boring eventually. Looking very much forward to the high-end content. What I like very much about the server is that it will hit TPC eventually. So I think around the midst of next year they will go to the Burning Crusade. Still, like with the character, like they will just upgrade it. They will make Trunai and Blood Elves available, and it's still the 3.3.5 client. So I'm very curious how they will balance things, how this will work, and I'm just looking forward to some TPC content again, because as you may know, TPC is basically the, well, let's say most underdeveloped kind of expansion on the private server scene. There's really not one single really decent server. I guess to some extent you could argue that Vengeance of Azeroth is quite okay, and also Looking for Group. I leveled quite a bit on Looking for Group actually, and it was an okay server. So yeah, it's okay, but if you compare it to the other expansions, it's not even close. Like Vanilla and Wrath of the Lich King especially is just so much more polished than any TPC server out there right now. I'm putting some hopes into Netherwing, which is currently still in, I think, closed beta, and the update on the Reddit like quite frequently and show bug fixes and everything, show progression, and it looks quite promising, I have to say. So yeah, maybe this will be the next big thing. Like Corecraft seems to be gone for now. It's always an option, I guess. It's always something. I will never give quite my hopes up. Like, this will always be something in the back of my mind, I guess. Even though it's like very unlikely something will come from this, but who knows? Maybe there will be something nice. And there's also like, it's just called the Burning Crusade, I think. It's I always get the name wrong. Crobby or something along those lines. Crummy. Basically also the developer who does some very promising work. Like, I think he also worked on Corecraft previously, and from what I've seen so far, this seems very well structured and polished, like the server that they are working on. It was rumored that it even would be available to open beta testing and like would be close to release around this year. but they seem to, well, also delay it by a bit, which is okay. Again, I think I also talked about this last stream. They don't owe us anything, right? It's all their free time, it's all their hard work, and it's very self-entitled to say stuff like, yeah, give me stuff, I'm here, why don't you give me free stuff? It's just a bit weird, but what I really like about some servers out there, some developers, are recent updates. Like, I think that's just something, like, if there are no updates and if there's just no communication at all, it can get quite frustrating. Even if you take an account that, well, they don't really owe you anything, and you know that, and you don't really, well, blame them for that, it still leaves this strange feeling of like getting ignored. Like, again, they really don't have to talk to you. Like, none of the developers, us players, like, maybe besides from the beta testers who invest time into bug fixing themselves, but besides that, they don't really need to communicate. And still, even though I said this, like, not getting any information and basically not getting any feedback is something that feels a bit unfair to some extent, which is a bit strange, but I can't quite help it. And, like, it's one thing to talk about it and try to reflect on this behavior and also, like, maybe try to look at the whole situation from a distance. But, like, especially on Reddit, there's sometimes this sort of mob mentality. And yeah, not everyone tries to, like, process the things that are currently happening, and it's very easy to get well, on a hate train on Reddit, and like to be like, you can get very unpopular very fast in that sort of environment. So I would always recommend developers to maybe, even if it's just 1 or 2 sentences a week or like a month at least, to maybe just say, hey, we are doing this right now and work is going in this direction. Otherwise, like, people feel ignored, people feel mistreated, and yeah, things can turn for the worse. Okay, this is one of the longest quad quests, but also at least a quite easy one, since, like, if you go high level, at least, that is, if you are around level 15, 16, I wouldn't recommend doing this, because this guy basically does not give a fuck where he walks. Like, not like a bit stealthy around this path right here, no. It's like straight ahead into the enemy, and he's also quite slow, and it's all the way the shore along. You might argue that quest is not even worth it because of that, but I still like to do it. I think you also get some nice boots. I think we flashed over them real quick. Don't have agility on them, but stat-wise they are quite okay. And it's also quite convenient. Like, I could use my Hearthstone now, would be a bit earlier around that point, but I mean, going through this area right here is also not the worst thing. There sometimes are a lot of treasures, and well, a bit of grinding never hurts. What I'm recently trying to do is using my melee attacks like to go in and out, like 2 shots and then like 1 melee attack and maybe some sort of attack dance, if that makes any sense. I've noticed a pretty good increase in my DPS with that, at least at that level, because you don't have really that much spells you can use, and well, after your arcane shot is done, I don't even use my Serpent Sting that much because enemies don't survive for the time, so like trying to shoot, then running in for an attack, and with this slow weapon you can get in like 2 range shots and then 1 melee attack, and it's quite a DPS increase. Again, nothing I would I would recommend for later, especially not regarding dungeons or anything. But for now I think it's not that bad. In vanilla this is also not really a thing you can do, alone to the fact that you need to be like 10 yards away from your enemy for like to shoot, and like around Wrath of Lich King it was patched down to 5, so it's very easy to just hit and then shoot again, whereas if I would do this in vanilla, then like I would hit and then walk. By the way, never walked it, like I never backpedal. It's the thing I've been trying to explain also my vanilla PvE level series, but you should of course always try to walk like this. Like this is even a better way to increase your DPS, I guess, because you are a bit faster at your attack range again. But yeah, if you do this in vanilla, then you would have to walk really long and then like walk in again, and it just wouldn't work. But I think in Wrath of Lich King it's quite a nice DPS increase. Nothing too crazy, but since playing a hunter is not that exciting, like everything that makes it a bit more interactive, I think, at least for me, is far more entertaining to play. Really would like to fish those debris. I'm just a bit afraid that maybe this guy sprints off once we are doing this, but he takes his sweet time right now. Oh, please don't tell me I just... Okay, I think I did a mistake. Hey, we probably went away too far. Huh. That's weird. I could swear I used to do this on other servers. Like while this guy was waiting here, fish around that area. But he was just sort of gone, and there's also like no failed quest notice. That's like the first thing that pops up most of the time if like your escorted NPC dies or like gets too far away, then usually there's some sort of fail notice on your quest, but he just kind of disappeared. Huh. Well, I don't think this is a bug, at least I can't say for certain. I rather think this was my own mistake for getting too far away. Well, that's unfortunate, but nothing too heartbreaking. Would have been nice to do this quest, but I guess it's... would have been some nice boots, but hey. We have our ladder working quite high up, like I did this off screen as well, and we will be able to get some nice boots from that anyway. So let's at least, since we failed with that, let's at least go for this debris. Sorry for this fishing intermission. But I really like to at least get this. I think I talked about it in my Rufford Lich King Let's Play. But I really like to take my time to at least fish those kind of, yeah, trunks. They are quite worth it. Sometimes there are also bolts of wool cloth, and like later on it will be even better. Like right now it does not seem to be as great, but especially like as a engineer or as a leather worker, you get a lot of leather from those trunks as well, and of course a lot of cloth and bolts of cloth. So this early in the game, of course, it's nothing too valuable, but later on, like if the level increases, then also the value in those trunks increases, of course. Like it scales basically. Later there will be mage weave and also like heavy leather and all that stuff. So at least if you are not like too impatient, then try to bring up your fishing with you. It's a very profitable kind of profession, not just for stuff like this, also like just for ingredients, like I think we also fished, like as you can see here, the oily black mouth. Oh, nice message in the bottle. Stuff like this is also quite fun, by the way, like just some lore and helps with the immersion, I guess. But yeah, you can have quite some fun with fishing. It sounds a bit crazy, and of course, like fun might be a bit too much. It's not really like that crazy and exciting, but well, especially in WoW the Lich King, it's quite easy to bring up your fishing skill. In vanilla, it's really, really hard, and it also takes much more time. Like they scaled it down a bit. So here, this oily blackmouth, for example, great for alchemy, and goes for quite some money in the auction house. So there's a lot of stuff you can do with that, and well, I would argue it's one of the easiest professions in the game, of course, but it only takes some time, right? I like to skill fishing when I watch something and just like have a really small window up on my screen, like from World of Warcraft, and well, then watch something else and just have the sound really high in World of Warcraft, and just when the sound pops, then click and then reel it back in, and then yeah, repeat. It really does not require too much time in 3.3.5. Before that, it's really not that easy, but yeah. Enough about fishing. Not much to say about that. So I guess we will abandon this one. A bit unlucky, but hey, that happens. It's not the end of the world. That's a nice gun. I don't think I will use it, but it sells for a bit more. I really don't like using guns as a hunter. I don't know why. I mean, on a troll it's for obvious reasons, I guess. And if I'm a dwarf, I tend to go for guns, like I prefer them. But on night elves and trolls and orcs, I really like to use bows. Okay, let's go for that last debris down here, and then we will go back to the crossroads, and I think this will be even the end of the episode. We have a lot of quests to hand in there, so maybe we even get to level 20, but I don't think so. This seems to be a bit bugged out. All right. So, let's see what we can get from this. Maybe around this area right here, I think. Not quite level 20, but hey. Let's check. As you can see from just those few trunks, we got a lot of light leather, we got a lot of bolts, and also some medium leather, and of course a lot of healing potions, which are always quite helpful and handy. I have like, I don't know, a full bag of greens on my bank character right now. Also because I leveled up my leatherworking, and I think I will leave them there. They don't really oh, see, we didn't even need the boots. Those are better anyway. I don't want to sell them right now. They don't sell for that much anyway. And I think I'd rather keep them once I level up, maybe an enchanter or something like that. Always nice to have some low level kind of yeah, greens around. Since this server is quite low in population, you like along your way you always find some treasures and like chests and rare mobs, and well, that's also the reason we just find so much stuff here. Okay, I think those quests we will do next time in the next episode, next pre-recording. I think this was pretty okay episode for now, and like for today. And I thank you very much for watching. Again, this will probably be uploaded on the 23rd of December. So I hope you have a fantastic Christmas Eve tomorrow, and yeah, until then, stay awesome guys, and